What separates me from everybody else is my mental, my work ethic, my risk-taking, punching when people say I shouldn't, not moving when people think that I should.
The best pound-for-pound fighters in the world are almost always the guys with the fastest processing, the fastest thinking. And Crawford is that guy right now.
I'm still sharpening my tools, but at the same time, I'm learning on the job as well. I don't ever want to feel like I'm done learning.
His mind is the strongest weapon. Like, he's one of the smartest fighters of all time. His boxing IQ, that's what wins you fights. You know, the physical is the easy part, the mental is the hard part, and he has mastered that mental. He's been like that since a kid.
Here we go.
Sharpen them tools. Sharpen them tools, bud. Double-edged sword.
Here we go.
We're gonna cut him up like a steak.
He has a toolbox full of tools. It's just about using the right tool at the right time.
We're getting there. We can fight tomorrow, but we still got a little more sharpening to do. Then we're gonna be ready. So we taking it how it come, one day at a time. Can't rush greatness.
You know, and if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter.
Because he could be avoided by the top name brand fighters, and also because he happened to come along at a time when there weren't a lot of name brand fighters in his division.
Oh, you haven't fought anybody and nobody know who you fought. You know exactly who I fought. You a fighter, you know. So why would you go out there and try to diminish the guys that I fought because you hear the media say that? None of that matters because I'm here now.
I don't know, but I don't give a f***, dude. So I feel I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position, I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
Canelo's words carry the weight of a champion stepping into the fire on September 13th. His confidence is unshakable. He's stepping in certain that he will conquer Crawford under the bright lights. Even the coach of Canelo's former opponent, Dmitry Bivol, and Israel Madrimov's Joel Diaz didn't hold back about the fight. He stated Canelo should win. I see Canelo beating Crawford by a convincing decision. There is no way Crawford beats Canelo. For Diaz, the outcome feels written already, as if Canelo's hand is destined to be raised. His words carried the weight of someone who has seen Canelo up close, understanding both his strengths and limits. He made it sound like Crawford's best weapons would simply bounce off Canelo's armor. The fight, he suggested, won't be about chances. It will be about levels, and in his eyes, Canelo's level is untouchable. Diaz then shifted from the ring to the sport itself, raising the stakes beyond just two men fighting. He stated, Canelo is the king of the sport, and business-wise, Canelo can't lose. If Canelo loses, boxing loses a lot of prestige. But don't get me wrong, Crawford is one of my favorite fighters and pound for pound the best of this era. Diaz placed Canelo on a throne, painting him as the guardian of boxing's pride. A defeat, he warned, would ripple far past one night. It would scar the sport itself. His tone gave the fight a deeper edge, one where reputations and legacies are on the line. Crawford still earned his respect, hailed as the finest of his generation, yet even with that praise, Diaz's conviction never cracked. Canelo, he insisted, cannot lose. Tom Loeffler, the former promoter of Gennady Golovkin, set the stage with his opening thoughts. He spoke with the excitement of a man who knows when a fight is truly special.
To the show, I mean, nothing more needs to be said about Canelo Crawford, two icons fighting each other, but when you have two young guys that are undefeated, both big knockout records that aren't going to run, both very confident. They wouldn't have taken the fight if they didn't think they were going to win. And it couldn't be on a bigger stage than the co-feature at Allegiant Stadium on Netflix. So we're really excited about it. This is the type of fight that Dana was saying that, the fights need to happen at the right time, not, 5 years past the due date. And, like His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh was saying, this is definitely not a Tom and Jerry type of fight. These guys are going to come out there and bang, and I think the crowd is going to love this fight for sure.
For Loeffler, this isn't just another boxing event. It's two giants colliding on the biggest platform possible. His words carried the thrill of a fight that comes at exactly the right time. Not too late, not too early. He painted a picture of two warriors who are both fearless and ready to put it all on the line. The energy of his description made it clear that the crowd will be treated to something unforgettable. The way he framed it, fans should expect nothing short of fireworks. Loeffler then shifted focus to Canelo's current state, noting the changes over time, but refusing to downplay his threat.
Canelo has definitely slowed down since those fights, but even with that, he's still a tremendous force in boxing. Big body puncher, physically very strong, great timing as a counter puncher. So you can't take anything away from Canelo, and Crawford has one of the best boxing IQs in the ring. So it's a great matchup. It's one of those fantasy matchups that people always talk about, and you know, they were able to make it happen for this show here, and I'm really looking forward to this fight.
He reminded everyone that even with age creeping in, Canelo remains a beast in the ring. His power, timing, and physical strength make him dangerous every second of the fight. But he also praised Crawford's brilliance, pointing to his unmatched ring IQ. By placing both men on a pedestal, Loeffler gave the fight the aura of a dream matchup. His words carried the sense that what fans are about to witness is more than history. It's fantasy turned real. He went further, breaking down the clash of styles between Canelo and Crawford, emphasizing their strengths in the purest technical sense.
I don't want to take anything away from Canelo, because Crawford has a really high ring IQ, but so does Canelo. Canelo's more of a counter puncher. He sets traps. Crawford, I have to give, you know, with his boxing ability, his hand speed, his foot speed. Canelo physically, I would say, is a little bit stronger. He can kind of impose his will on it. You know, it's such a great matchup. I wouldn't be surprised if either one were to win the fight.
Loeffler showcased his deep eye for the sport, describing how both men bring contrasting but equally deadly weapons. He pointed to Canelo's ability to trap opponents and counter with brutal precision. At the same time, he praised Crawford's speed, mobility, and intelligence as the perfect foil. The balance in his words created an air of uncertainty, both men capable of destroying the other. It left the impression that this isn't a one-sided story, but a razor-edge battle. The conversation then turned to experience, where Loeffler highlighted the importance of big stage battles in shaping a champion.
Canelo's been on this big stage before. I think people kind of dismiss him a little bit with that last performance that he had over there in Riyadh, but when you have an opponent like John Skull who's not going to engage, it's really hard to look good against someone like that. So I would give the edge to Canelo because he's been in that position before.
He suggested that Canelo's past under the brightest lights gives him the edge. While others may dismiss Canelo based on recent performances, Loeffler pushed back with conviction. He reminded fans that it's difficult to shine against opponents who refuse to engage. His words hinted that Crawford may face a very different Canelo, one hungry to prove the doubters wrong. It added a layer of suspense, painting the fight as a test of experience versus ambition. From there, Loeffler touched on one of the hottest debates, weight, and how it may or may not shape the outcome.
I don't think the weight is as big as a lot of people are saying, because Crawford probably walks around at that weight, probably only has to drop a couple pounds, but you know, he's the type of guy that can easily put on the muscle and the mass and use his hand speed, his foot speed to box. So I just think that if Canelo is able to impose his will and throw the body shots and throw some counter punches, I could see him, edging out a win on that night.
His take cut through the noise, suggesting that the weight isn't the obstacle many believe it to be. Crawford, he hinted, has already been walking around at that size, making it less of a shock to the body. Instead, the focus shifts to how he can use his speed and skill against Canelo's brute force. Loeffler envisioned a fight where body shots and counters could decide everything. His words made clear that whoever imposes their style will control the night. Loeffler then zeroed in on a deadly weapon that could tilt the fight, Canelo's devastating body attack.
I think his body punches. He's got some great, either a counter punch to the head, or he's got some great left hooks to the body that really are effective. So he can easily wear you down. So that I think that's what Crawford has to look out for is those tricky body shots that Canelo throws.
He spoke of those signature shots that don't just hurt, but break opponents down round after round. The way he described it, Canelo's left hook to the body is more than a punch. It's a game changer. Against Crawford, those shots could slowly sap speed and timing until opportunities open up. Loeffler's tone made it clear. Crawford cannot afford to take those punches clean. The suspense grew, leaving fans wondering if even a genius like Crawford can survive that punishment. Loeffler then turned his attention to strategy, outlining the dangerous traps that Crawford must avoid.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Crawford has to be really careful with those body shots. He definitely can't get lured into a firefight. He's going to lose. If it's a back and forth type of situation, that's not where Crawford wants to be. He wants to stay on the outside, use his his speed, his skills, and really. I see him boxing Canelo. Now, if he hurts Canelo, then he can go there and start going toe-to-toe. But, Canelo's the type of guy you don't want to stand in front of that guy because he really can start to pick you apart.
He warned that a firefight with Canelo could spell disaster, stripping Crawford of his biggest advantages. Staying on the outside, using his speed and intelligence may be his only chance. Loeffler's breakdown sounded less like speculation and more like a roadmap to survival. The way he framed it, Crawford must fight a perfect fight to win, and even then, the looming threat of Canelo's power lingers like a shadow over every round. Meanwhile, Canelo himself is confident in his greatness, speaking with pride about what these moments mean.
I think he's one of the best fighters for more fun. He accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always big.
His words carried a calm certainty, the kind that only comes from a fighter who has achieved it all. He reminded everyone that these clashes between nations and styles are what make boxing legendary. The way he framed it, the stage is bigger than belts. It's about pride and history colliding. His tone showed not just respect for the game, but for the opponent who stands across from him. And with that, the tension for the showdown only grew sharper. Then came a note of caution, as Canelo admitted this fight will push boundaries in ways no one has seen before. He stated, going to be different for him, different in every single thing. We'll see. We'll see how he handled that. There was a sense of mystery in his words, as if he knew the road ahead would be full of surprises. His tone made it clear that every moment inside the ring could feel new, even for a champion. That uncertainty added layers of tension to the story. What will break first, skill or composure? It was a reminder that no fight is ever routine at this level, and with that, the sense of danger only grew stronger. Canelo then turned critical, calling out the kind of fight no one wants to see and the kind fans will never forget.
To have a good fight, you need both fighters. Boxing is you throw, you get in there and move your waist, move around a little bit, but throw punches, get in there. That's boxing. But when you have one fighter like we saw with the skull, like running and running, that's not that kind of fight you want, right? And it's very difficult to close that waist and everything. You close him, he jump right away. It's very difficult. What kind of style is that?
He described the frustration of facing opponents who run, spoil, and rob the sport of its essence. In his voice was the hunger for a real war, where punches fly, risks are taken, and the crowd roars. It was more than a complaint. It was a promise that this won't be another dull chess match. He demanded excitement, knowing boxing lives and dies by its action. His vision was clear. This fight must deliver. But with that fire, Canelo also expressed faith that Crawford is built differently.
I hope not. I think Crawford is not that kind of fighter. He's a different. He boxes. And I like that.
He showed respect by suggesting Crawford won't be one to run, dodge, or deny the fans a spectacle. His words hinted at a clash that will be fought in the trenches, not on the back foot. That respect carried weight, as if he knew Crawford was too proud to fight safe. It added to the suspense, because two men standing their ground means violence is guaranteed. The crowd, he seemed to say, will get what they came for. From there, Canelo went deeper, speaking about discipline, motivation, and the mindset required to carry legacy.
Motivate and discipline. So together is big and it's very different mentality. I was the same mentality with William School, but I was in another country and this and that, very different. But this is different. You can feel it. right away. And you know how big is this, how important is this for my legacy.
You could hear the seriousness in his tone. This isn't just another paycheck fight, it's a defining moment. He spoke as if the stakes had reached beyond titles, touching his identity and pride. The mention of legacy gave the fight an almost historic weight. For Canelo, this isn't just about winning, it's about proving his place in boxing's highest order. Every word made the battle feel larger than life. Canelo then stripped it back to himself, reminding the world of what he already knows deep inside.
My training, obviously, but I born like that. I'm special. I'm special. That's what I know. I knew this since I started.
It was raw self-belief, the kind that makes champions unshakable even when critics circle. His confidence didn't sound forced, it sounded natural, as if greatness has always been his truth. There was an edge in his tone, a warning that he has no doubts about his uniqueness. For fans, it was both chilling and inspiring, hearing a fighter call himself special. And when Canelo speaks like that, you can't help but believe him. Soon after, he gave a sharp warning, respecting Crawford's ability but making it clear he sees the danger differently.
We need to be very focused and be careful. Anybody can carry you, right? But if you're smart and you know how to box and everything, it's very difficult.
His words hinted at a fighter who isn't blind to risk, but refuses to be shaken by it. He reminded everyone that skills alone can't topple someone who knows how to think and adapt. It was a glimpse into Canelo's calm mindset, where composure trumps fear. He acknowledged Crawford's strengths, but stood firm that intelligence and caution are his armor. In that balance, the suspense of the fight only deepened. Canelo closed with respect, giving Crawford his credit while making sure his own voice was just as strong.
I don't know, we'll see. But what I know is he's a good fighter, very smart fighter, and very disciplined. He needs to get credit for that. But I am too.
He spoke with honesty, calling Crawford smart, disciplined, and worthy of admiration. But at the same time, he reminded everyone that he too carries those same qualities. The balance of respect and confidence made the matchup feel even more dangerous. It was as though two mirrors were about to collide, each reflecting greatness back at the other. That ending left one thought echoing. Something monumental is about to happen. But not everyone is buying into the idea of Canelo walking away with the win. Abdul Khan, who has sparred with Terence Crawford, brought a very different perspective.
He's the best fighter in the planet, in my opinion. He's just so disciplined and dedicated, and I feel like he will beat Canelo. I think he'll win on points, and I think he'll be it'll be a good shot-out win, to be fair, and I feel like he's the best in this generation.
His insight came not from distance, but from standing in front of Crawford's speed, timing, and skill. That first-hand experience gave weight to his words, adding a sense of authority to his view. He spoke with conviction, describing Crawford's discipline and sharpness as unmatched. The tone carried certainty, building an image of Crawford as a fighter destined to rise above. For Khan, this isn't wishful thinking. He believes Crawford's greatness will be proven in the ring. Meanwhile, Crawford's coach Bernie began by breaking down what truly separates his fighter from the rest: his mind. He highlighted the unseen weapon that wins fights before fists even land.
Crawford has the experience, Crawford has the know-how, the willpower, the mind, the IQ, which we keep saying that, but I don't want to understate that, the IQ. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. He knows how to take the best away from each opponent that he's had. And that's a testament to his IQ and to his boxing mind.
The way he spoke gave Crawford's ring IQ the aura of a weapon sharper than any punch. He emphasized how Crawford studies opponents, takes away their best tools, and forces them into his rhythm. It wasn't hype. It was cold analysis from a man who has watched him dismantle fighters time and time again. His tone made it clear that intelligence can overwhelm brute strength. And in his words, Crawford already sounded 2 steps ahead of Canelo. Bernie then leaned into the mental side of the fight, making it clear that Crawford is already living with victory in his mind. For him, preparation is more than physical. It's belief turned into reality.
Like I said, you know, Crawford had already made it up in his mind. He had already seen the victory. He already seen what he had to do. He's working and getting in shape. He's in shape to execute his game plan. You know, we definitely went over a couple of things which Canelo brings to the table to watch out for. But other than that, you know, he knows how to make adjustments on the fly. He knows how to do what he does, do what it takes to win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Crawford brings to the table. He knows how to do whatever it takes to win, and that's what we're banking on. That's what we banking on.
You could hear the conviction as he described Crawford training not just to fight, but to win. His confidence wasn't blind. It came from adjustments, discipline, and the ability to adapt in real time. Bernie reminded everyone that Crawford has mastered the art of doing whatever it takes to succeed. The message was simple. When you face Crawford, you're up against a man who refuses to accept defeat. His words carried the certainty of someone who has already seen the outcome. Bernie painted the picture of Canelo's journey, suggesting that this time the challenge will be unlike anything he's faced. Crawford, he warned, is coming with a different kind of hunger.
I think the same way for him too. You know, it's almost like I say, he was on his Mayweather tour. You know what I mean? Where he's on autopilot. You know, he didn't have nobody to really test him and really put and really to get up for it after Triple G the second time. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that nothing to really to prove the people wrong against. You know what I mean? He didn't have that opponent. So, you know, this time, you know, he's going to try to save his reputation. He know he's going there with a speedier guy. He's going there with a dog. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you look in Crawford's eyes, you know, like he say, I'm different. I'm coming to win. Those guys didn't come to win. And I feel like even if Crawford, like I say, you got to be cautious if you get caught with a hard punch, but Crawford knows how to take that away from him. And that's not going to take nothing away from Crawford. Crawford's not going to shrink because he get caught with a good punch. He's still going to go there to win. It's the whole object is to win. However we got to do it, he's going to win. He's going to get his hand raised. That's what's going to happen. And if it get froggy in there, Crawford is coming. That's it. That's how Crawford is. You never seen Crawford shrink.
There was no hesitation as he described a fighter who has never backed down, even when hurt or tested. He spoke of eyes that show determination, a will that bends but never breaks. Canelo may bring power, but Bernie insisted Crawford knows how to neutralize it. The way he framed it, the fight isn't about surviving. It's about making sure Crawford's hand is raised no matter what. His words gave the clash an edge of inevitability, like destiny was already written. Bernie turned to Crawford's adaptability, showing why his fighter is never trapped by one style or one plan.
I feel like Crawford got a better rhythm in southpaw. You know, I feel like he throw harder punches in orthodox, but I feel like he got a better rhythm in southpaw. You know, like, alter ego. And so, you know, but like I say, it don't matter what we gonna do, whatever we got to do to win. That's Crawford. He gonna do whatever he got to do to win. You know, like us, you know, we can suggest everything. We can tell him to do this, do that, but he has the mind on his own and the experience to know what's going on in the ring. You know, we on the outside looking in. You know, so like I say, we didn't study him. We didn't went over everything that we know that he does, and only thing you can do is go in there and do your best with it. And the only person that can know what's happening really in there is those two guys. So, you know what I'm saying? Crawford, he knows what to do to get the victory. That's it. If y'all can't understand that, I want to tell you.
He explained how Crawford switches rhythm, stance, and tactics as naturally as breathing. For him, the corner can guide, but once inside the ropes, Crawford becomes his own master. It was a reminder that some fighters fight with muscle, but Crawford fights with instinct sharpened by experience. His confidence in Crawford's ability to read and break down Canelo was absolute, and the way he delivered it left no doubt. Bernie believes victory belongs to Crawford. When you put all of this together, one thing becomes clear. This fight is not just about punches, it's about pride, legacy, and survival at the very top. Canelo comes in with the confidence of a king, while Crawford's camp believes his sharp mind and discipline will carry him through. Both sides sound certain, but only one man will prove it under the lights. Now the questions are, will Canelo's power and experience be too much, or will Crawford's intelligence and hunger flip the script? Can Crawford handle the physical strength of a man who has dominated for so long, or will Canelo finally meet the one fighter who can truly take his crown? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this, because the real fight is just beginning.